What's your name, dirtbag? Sound off like you got a pair! Corporal Shephard, huh? Looks more like Corporal Dog Meat to me. Seems your name was mysteriously bumped to the top of the advanced training list.
In Valve's library there is no character that sparks bigger controversy than Corporal Adrian Shephard from United States Hazardous Environment Combat Unit, HECU for short. Some consider Adrian as Boba Fett of Half-Life universe, and some see him as some completely meaningless in scope of Gordon fits, just a pawn who is not even considered canon by Valve, which honestly has never been confirmed by Valve themselves. Mark Laidlaw, on the other hand, has once said that Adrian is like Schrodinger's cat, meaning that he is neither canon nor non-canon. Who's Adrian Shephard though? Why he was bumped up to the top of the advanced training list? Was it doing of mysterious government man that Adrian has described in his journal? Not much is known about this individual, besides him being 22 years old upon arrival to Santiago military base, where he went through basic and advanced military training. The only piece of information about his personality could be found in an in-game manual, a relic of the past, where we can see his journal entries. March 3rd. Another typically hellish day at the base camp. I'll be glad when this is over and I can get assigned a mission. There has been this weird civvy spotted at the base. The rumor is that he's from some government branch looking to recruit. Others say he's with some secret research group. I would jump at the chance to join, it would be cool just for a change and the adventure. March 6th. I finally saw the government guy today. I'm not so sure he's a G-man, but he was wearing a really uptight suit and carrying a briefcase. He looked like a lawyer or insurance agent to me. I did notice him checking me out. Several times throughout the day I spotted him just watching me during training. I wonder what he's up to. March 9th. For weeks our drills have been the same crap day after day. Today we assemble for the morning run and our drill instructor tells us we have 1 week to become experts at indoor strategic combat. We will be spending every day this week at the combat simulation facility. As far as I know, this is specialized training not taught at the boot camp. What I want to know is if this is to test our abilities to adapt or if we are being readied for a specific mission. Time will tell. March 12th. The rumors have been flying since our indoor combat training began. Most of my peers are convinced that we are being primed for a mission. No one can agree on what the mission is. I have heard the name Black Mesa facility thrown around a lot, but I have no information about the place. The rumors are that some top secret research is going on there. Doesn't sound too exciting to me. We can assume that G-Man influenced or maybe even orchestrated the Black Mesa incident, and that Adrian is as much of a cog in a greater scheme as Gordon is. Unlike Gordon, Adrian's past is a big unknown and we only can follow his history during his mission in Black Mesa. If you skip the tutorial, you are put instantly in one of two squads Ospreys, designated Goose 2 and Goose 7. We can hear our squad arguing as they did not get direct orders yet, which are about to be given upon the arrival on site. While you try to make out the conversation, you can see some unidentified object flying over Goose 3, something that resembles a manta ray. Before you can blink, it pulverizes your teammates in the other Osprey, and before you can say anything, your Goose 7 is struck too and it's forced to crash land in Black Mesa facility. Your fate is not yours to decide, just as Gordon's. Your unconscious body has been dragged to relative safety by a medic. Memories, although foggy, paint a picture of a total carnage. Your unit didn't receive the orders, but the squad leader mentioned an alien activity. Through the flashbacks you can see your teammates being decimated by something out of this world. As much you would like to fight side by side with your colleagues, your body refuses to listen to you, as you lose your consciousness again. After a while you wake up in what seems to be one of the many labs in Black Mesa facility. You can see that one of the scientists is desperately trying to bring your colleague back to life by performing CPR. Is it him who made sure you are still alive? Keep in mind that from the perspective of Shephard, we still do not know the exact orders and that HECU has been sent here to perform a cleanup operation. The science team is only your enemy if you decide them to be. This makes Adrian so hard to describe, as understandably there were players who went through with what they saw in the base game and decided to kill every single scientist on site, and there were some players who still were under the impressions of Half-Life 1 and did not want to decimate the personnel. All around the place that you have found yourself in, you can see the aftermath of what once was an unspecified mission. Dead soldiers laying around, some zombified by the headcrabs. Adrian wasn't prepared for it during his lengthy time at Santiago base. You trained to be a specialist operator in CQC. Truth be told, no amount of training could prepare you to face what you are facing right now. Though the orders are unknown, your goal is link up with your unit, or rather with what's left of it. You make your way through an alien-infested facility, killing things you haven't imagined, even in your wildest dreams. You contact your team via radio and hear the order to pull out, as the operation turned out to be a complete disaster. When you finally find a rendezvous point, you are stopped in your tracks by mysterious government men, right before you enter the landing zone where the last Osprey waits for the soldiers. Just as Gordon has been stripped from his free will by G-Men, Adrian is too. Although not yet put into stasis, you are forced to take another route to escape the facility. On your way out, you encounter Black Ops operators. At first you might think that they are here to support HECU in dealing with the alien threat, but soon you learn they have a cleanup operation of their own. Your own government did not care for the scientists, but now they do not care about you and your unit that has been dispatched to take care of the situation. You might feel betrayed, but there is no time for that to sink in, as you desperately try to survive and get out of here. You make your way to the underground parking lot and your heart skips a beat. Two Black Ops operators are arming a nuclear warhead on top of a pickup truck. This means that the government is so desperate that they have decided to use a final solution. Thankfully, you're able to deal with the operators and somehow disarm the warhead. The feeling of stress relief is short-lived though, as you enter the small guard compartment and see G-Men rearming it. That means you're now fighting not only against Black Ops and Xenian lifeforms, your biggest enemy just revealed itself. It is time. You proved yourself capable in combat, but there is still one last stretch you have to pull through. Race X, which you have fought up to this point, is trying to push something far more vicious than lowly grunts you have encountered. The Gene Worm is trying to teleport into our dimension, and only God knows what it will do with our world. But you prevail and defeat the Gene Worm, closing the portal for Race X. This may have as well been the end of the story for Adrian, but we all know really well that once G-Man sets a sight on someone, he does not give up his pursuit for capable assets. What's different from Gordon is that Shephard is not recruited or hired, Adrian is designated as detained. This might mean that Gearbox did not want to interfere with the story of Half-Life itself and leave the open gate for Valve to pick up Adrian's story at a later date. Unfortunately, the controversial Corporal has been detained for almost 25 years now. Many have speculated that he may reappear in future installments, but as we know, there is no sign of Adrian on the horizon. Some even claim that Valve has been working on a co-op VR title where Shephard would fight alongside Gordon with the Combined Occupation Force. All of those were of course speculations, but Gabe Newell himself confirmed that he would like Adrian to reappear on our screens at some point in the future. The issue is that Valve has not been working on any titles remotely connected with Adrian for a very long time. For the time being, the Easter egg from Portal has to suffice. A Pressure Science handheld portal device ASHPD, bearing the initials of Adrian Shephard. As I stated in the beginning of this video, Adrian has been considered a fan favorite by some and a meaningless pawn by others. Both groups, although being very vocal about their opinions, cannot take from Shephard that he had a very long-lasting impression on 90s gamers. So lasting that there are plenty of fan-made videos on YouTube about him, look him up. For me, Adrian was a gateway to see the story of Half-Life 1 through the eyes of titular opposing force, which to be completely frank with you, was a blast of an expansion pack. And as much as I would love him to make a return, I suppose that we'll see the next installment of the mainline Half-Life game before we will be able to meet Shep again. As always, making content for you guys has been a blast. Consider leaving a sub and thumbs up or down as it helps immensely. See you in the next one.
No harm can come to you. I'm sure you can imagine there are worse alternatives.
Okie dokie, Mr. G-Man. Subject Shephard, status detained, further evaluation pending. And I'm guessing 24 years later, we still didn't get a continuation of story of Adrian Shephard, which is